afternoon, everybody. My name is Mark McGuire here in Austin, Texas. And today I wanted to be a little bit prophetic, drop some science for you about the days ahead, what's coming for our collective future. Without being too, caught up in all the doom and gloom and all that kind of stuff, I'm going to say that you're going to see a lot of things change. There's big changes that are on the horizon, and one of those things that are going to change are everyone's sacred institutions, all those organizations and things that you looked up to and felt safety, felt that they gave you meaning. Well, all that's changing, coming very soon. I mean, if you're at all attuned to what's going on in the world, you can already see that it's well on its way. I mean, things like, the church, for example. I mean, just to be blunt, to put it like, how my African American brothers say, talk some real talk, drop some real talk. Well, I'm going to give you some real talk. I'm Black Irish anyway, so same difference. I'm going to give you some real talk about the days ahead. Jesus isn't coming to save you, okay? And I don't mean that in any kind of disrespectful way to anybody, but the tools have been given to all of us for centuries. There's just been an agenda. There's just been many organizations and entities in this world of ours that have benefited from keeping those tools hidden from us. I'm not going to go into biblical scripture, but yeah, the energies that are within us, that all of our faculties as divine human beings, everything is there to save ourselves, to put the ego in its place, get our energies aligned from our root chakra straight up on through to the violet flame. It's all there. It's all within us, and you, every one of you, each individual, you have to stop looking for someone to come save you. It's all within you. When you kind of walk a path with that knowledge, like I've done my entire life, you learn to take care of yourself. Not saying that I haven't had angels around me and God hasn't guided me, because certainly if it wasn't for God's guidance and His love, her love, I would not be here. The only reason why I'm here today, November 12th, 2021, is because I'm still evolving. God in His infinite grace has granted me the grace to continue to evolve, and but part of that evolution is sharing that evolution with anybody who it can be shared with. So anyway, the reason why I say all that is because there's a lot of things that are kind of people have these mental programmings that have been put in place. They're symbols that are laden with fear, and they've been put in place to keep people from turning within, where there's the only real knowledge, the only true truth that will come is through your discernment, spiritual discernment, and that's the only real truth. There's a Buddhist saying that goes like this: if you meet the Buddha on the road, slay him. That sounds rather harsh, but what it means is the Buddha, everyone else may recognize him as the Buddha. He is the Buddha, but he's not going to save you. You can follow him, you can read his books, you can emulate him, but you're not going to be him or her. There's all kinds of Buddhas, enlightened ones, bodhisattvas, those that have achieved samadhi, nirvana, so nirvokapal samadhi being the highest in this earth realm. But anyway, so there's a lot of there's a lot of kind of images and stuff that people just they repulse them for because their preacher or somebody told them it was evil. But the preacher's not the Buddha, the preacher's not you, so you have to you have to dig in. No one's coming to save you. I'm telling you, in the days ahead, it's going to be rough, but we have all the tools. We have all the power to save ourselves and to thrive and to grow. Raise your energies higher. Be Bob Marley, not as opposed to like whatever it is that you find. But Bob Marley is always somebody that's always like been a prophet for me. I mean, when I was stationed in the Army in Hawaii, I saw Bob Marley revered, his legend, his music. He was revered as a deity, someone who brought the truth. And so, I think Anthony Kiedis from Red Hot Chili Peppers says, Bob Marley, poet and a prophet. Bob Marley walks it like he talks it. Well, anyway, I'm going to read the preface to a book. It's not really important what the name of the book is, but the preface to it is important because it talks about somebody who lived truth, who dug for truth, and they walked it like they talked it. So anyway, here we go. So this person is known as Uncle Setnak. I guess it's like an Egyptian name. He's an author who dares to tell you the truth, an increasingly rare thing in our world today. This book is an essential guide to the left-hand path, a path which leads to one who treads it to becoming more independent, permanent, and perfect. These are high goals, and hence it is a difficult path. On a difficult path, only those who tell you the truth are your friends. Uncle Setnak is your friend. This book provides you with his best advice. The history of the left-hand path is laid out in some detail in my book, not my book, but the person writing the preface, Lords of the Left-Hand Path. And there the reader can see many examples of individuals who have in some cases become what I call a lord of the left-hand path. A lord is a sovereign, that is, one whose being is independent of the environment and whose will is potent both within that environment and within itself. A sovereign path is self-determined, and once the sovereign has developed his or her skills, nothing can stand in the way of its realization. To become such a sovereign in one's own life is the ultimate aim of the practice of the left-hand path. In many ways, Lords of the Left-Hand Path provides a background and context which makes the contents of this present book gain immeasurable depths. This book shows how our own forebears have practiced what Uncle Setnak has taught through the ages. For anyone who seriously undertakes the work of the left-hand path, the subject of the present book, an unparalleled adventure in life awaits. No one can engage in this work and remain unchanged from the time before he or she seized on the plan. It is a plan which is generally forbidden by polite society. Therefore, it is difficult. It is a plan which opens the traveler up to a level of meaning which forever transforms the status quo of his former life, and hence it is dangerous. This book is a bridge. In Don Webb's former book, The Seven Faces of Darkness, he outlined a group of practical magical techniques drawn from the ancient papyri. That's Egyptian writing, Egyptian scrolls, spelled Papyri. So created by the Sessian cult of Egypt. In ancient times, many of the practitioners of such sorcery eventually went on to become philosophers who wrote such treatises as those which came to be called the Corpus Hermeticum. Scholars ponder how individuals developed from mere sorcerers into profound thinkers. The key to the mystery lies in the invisible bridge of teachings, which effect a span between the two kinds of thought, between sorcery and philosophy. This bridge is usually made up of oral teachings. Uncle Setnak's present guide is one of those rare works that does in writing what in the past was done with oral teachings. And so this book provides the practical tools necessary for travelers to design and build their own causeways, that they may become their own bridge builders, rather than relying on others to build their bridges for them. This is the only method possible for those who would make their ways along the true left-hand path. Only rarely does a genuine lord of the left-hand path share his secrets. Don Webb, like other Runa Raven authors, is not merely a writer, he is a doer. He has spent years working along the left-hand path, becoming initiate and then teaching real people face to face, designing curricula and leading a major initiatory school. He is not just stringing words together to delight and entertain his readers, though he does that as well. He is providing you with an essential guidebook to the greatest adventure life offers. That was written by Stephen E. Flowers in 1999, quite some time ago. I think I had just gotten to Austin. I'd gotten out of active duty Army in Hawaii, from Hawaii, and came here to Austin in March of 1999. And I've been here ever since. You know, I've spent some time out in West Texas and Alpine. That was a hell of an experience out there. I played in a Beatles tribute band. There was only like one bar in this whole area of West Texas that anyway, there were some great people out there. I hope one day I get to connect back with them. Gilbert Lujan and all those guys. Jimmy, I mean the drummer of our Beatles tribute band. But what were we called? Something Rubber Revolver. I don't know, something. But anyway, you know, the point is that was written in 1999. Here it is, 2021. You know, time warps, time flies, timelines. You know, soul fragments. But it's time to gather all of your fragments of who you are back together. Get it fused in the light and the knowledge of what I call, you know, the divine creator, infinite intelligence. It's gonna be kind of a shaky ride going forward, I think, you know, but a lot of things, a lot of information, a lot of disclosures are going to be coming out about things that it's going to shock people, really, and what we're going to see, because we're at the end of the fourth turning. You know, this is going to be a tumultuous time going ahead, at least until 2030. But you know, society is going to transform, to put it nicely. And you know, is it the end times? Is it? I say, yeah, it's the end times. It's the end of, you know, ignorance, the end of exploitation, poverty, hunger. I mean, there is absolutely no reason why everybody on this planet can't have a good life. But there is a reason, and that reason, if you know what the archons are, if you know what, you know, go watch the movie They Live with Rowdy Roddy Piper. I think that's back from the 80s. That'll fill you in on what we've been living under, basically. But that shit's been yanked out, and it's all glorious, clear sailing and into the light ahead. Namaste.